You guys have all been waiting for the inside scoop. And now it's time to give you the motherfucking inside scoop. Let's get it.
Let's get it, girls. Let's get it, girls. Hey, I'm Ruben. I kissed boys on telly. This is my wonderful sister Eden. She cried on telly and got more airtime than me. She's fab, she's wonderful, she's my best friend in the whole world. She's my family and my chosen family.
T.
No one knows me better than she knows me.
I can tell when you're faking it and like you're not faking it.
And therefore, I thought no one better to do a little interview with me to show all of the real tea about Ruben.
Yes, divas. We ready?
Yeah.
I guess... I think it's an owl.
Yeah, I know. They're like... You know how they like move their necks around?
Oh, I've never done that before. So I think we should get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Actually, obviously, a lot of people have seen you on the show. They have followed your journey. But it could be helpful to have a reintroduction. So who is Ruben?
Ruben is 25-year-old, mixed race, queer guy, lives in London, pursuing his arty dreams, loves geeking with his friends, making his fantasies into reality, and like, not like, I'm trying to live my fantasy, it's like, no, I'm trying to turn myself into
you're
like a sexy, like, alien from space, walking down the runway.
You're committed.
And I really give a shit about queerness, queer community, and individuals being able to live the lives that they want to live.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. You take that very seriously.
I take it really, really seriously.
You didn't say you're a he, him, baddie.
I am a he, him, baddie.
He, him, baddie likes living in the moment, hanging out with your friends. Right, that. Something that is really beautiful off the back of this show is the support from the queer community, and a lot of queer people connect with your experiences and parts of your journey. What was coming out like for you?
When I was a kid, I kind of always just knew that I was queer. I grew up in Norway and I just never heard a rhetoric of like, this is what sexuality and this is what dating is. This is bad, this thing is good. And therefore it was just like never really something that I thought about that much. I remember just having crushes on guys and not really thinking about it. But when I then moved to the UK at 9 years old, I then within the first week heard gay used as an insult multiple times.
Yeah.
And like very quickly I learned that it was a bad thing. I still kept having crushes on guys, but I then went into a few years where I was just putting a lot of mental energy into convincing myself that I wasn't queer, even though I was becoming more and more queer in my expression and the way I was acting. And I was putting a lot of energy into dulling that down as well. And then I kind of got to a point mentally where I was like, Ruben, you are queer, let's just be real here. And I came out very casually through a conversation I had with one of my old friends when I was like 14. Then I came out to Eden, actually. Eden started crying.
I did.
Because
Diva.
Eden had also recently come up to me at this point.
Have you also noticed that's a theme for me?
Eden loves to cry at big life moments of
Very
mine.
nice.
And then I came into school and suddenly everyone just knew. I feel like I should have been more mad in the moment, but actually it was quite a relief being outed because I didn't need to tell people. And I also quickly realised that people actually didn't really care that much.
Were they surprised?
I don't think people were really surprised. No. I won Drama King. It was a microaggression, but...
T, very that. Also, like, not wrong, but, like, still microaggression. Many things can be true at once.
I wasn't even, like, the campest person ever, but I was clearly not straight.
Throwback to the hair straighteners. It was a Snapchat photo with the
And when
flower
I'm like,
crown
pang,
filter.
when I'm like, I came out then, I didn't really want to label myself. I guess I was more bisexual. Obviously, bisexuality is very, very valid. It's just not really me. I then came out as gay when I was 18, after I explored stuff with a girl, and I was like, this is not really my team.
Also, to be fair, you have always been very drawn to women.
Yeah.
Like, you've always had a lot of female friends.
Yeah.
You loved, like, a girl band, Little Mix. You loved, like, a diva. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I can imagine also when you're figuring stuff out, you're like, well, I guess I have interest in women. And so when you then did come out as bisexual, it's not that that felt
I
dishonest.
thought I had a
because-
crush on Nicki Minaj and Kylie Jenner. I just wanted to be them.
T.
Coming out to my parents was kind of hilarious. I waited until I was 19 to come out to them. Like a part of me always knew there was going to be acceptance, but I also didn't really want to come out until I had a boyfriend or was like a gay in practice rather than just a gay in theory. And when I came out to them, my mum was really, really supportive, really, really yappy, and my dad was like, both of you?
T.
How did that happen? Is there something in the water?
Very
'Cause
that.
Eden had been
Yeah.
out for a minute.
I think that was the gag. He was like, wait, it totally makes sense that is something you could be, but like mathematically,
Both of you?
the probability.
You didn't think it was possible.
Gag.
But I think the harder part of my coming out journey was coming to terms with being okay with being queer. That actually came very, very recently, like the last few years. I think that I was kind of trying to uphold some version of masculinity, and I also think that my queerness manifests itself not just in being gay. I'm a very queer person in my expression and my interests, and I've always felt really weird and kind of unattractive because of that. I didn't think that me being authentically myself and dating were compatible. I thought me being authentic myself made me unattractive, and therefore I made this decision that I'm not gonna try and date. And I didn't date for a long time. Like, it's funny to be seen as a player. I was single for 3 years before the show. I was so far away from dating and seeing guys.
I think you're also quite scared of it.
Yeah.
Having known you like your whole life, I feel like we both have shared experience in that way as well. But like growing up in Norway, not being white in a very white place, and knowing that you're different, that is like a normal part of how you understand yourself, even subconsciously. That is something that we internalize. Do you know what I mean? And so I feel like figuring out that you're queer and understanding your queerness and what that means, it's kind of like, okay, I can't seem to fit into these rules or expectations that society has like put on me. You have to do quite a lot of work to make yourself feel like enough and feel desirable.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing that's funny, is that I didn't feel desirable at all.
Yeah.
For a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing about watching the show, is that I guess for the beginning was just seen purely based on being desirable.
Yeah.
Like, that's just so funny, because that's just not how I felt.
You're actually quite an introverted person, which I feel like is something that people wouldn't recognize about you.
But that was the thing, I was very solitary in my life, and I didn't have an expansive queer community that I knew really, really, really well. And I think therefore I was very in my head about how I experienced a lot of these things. And you know, I'm an introvert with fab social skills. So I come across very, very confident and very, very strong, but like, bitch, I like being alone.
What made you want to go on I Kissed a Boy?
There were several different things I wanted to go on I Kissed a Boy. I think that I Kissed a Boy is a really important show.
T.
Growing up, queer reality TV was my main source of being able to connect with my community, but it was through Drag Race. You know, so I got to see this very over-the-top version of queerness, which was really, really important to see, but it didn't really like normalize queerness in a lot of ways.
And it's really quite unrelatable in some ways.
Yeah, and I think that I really like the idea of a show where any queer person could find someone that they could see themselves in. And I watched I Kissed a Boy and I Kissed a Girl. I think I was at a point when I was a little bit like, this actually makes sense for me to do right now, I'll just apply, kind of fuck it. But I also had really, really not been prioritizing dating for a really, really long time. I was quite enticed by the idea of being in a space where you couldn't be like sleeping with people and stuff. You just had to really, really get to know people.
You were actually forming deep connections
Yeah.
through conversation.
Yeah, completely.
What have you learned about yourself from seeing yourself on the show?
I guess I've learned about the way that I'm read. Like in the beginning of the show, I feel like I was kind of read slightly like two-dimensional, hot guy, has no insecurities, very, very confident, just wants to get with whoever he wants, which is like not the case at all. But I guess maybe something that I've learned is that I need to work a little bit harder at really, really communicating that, because I feel like a lot of the work that I had to do on the show was proving people that I wasn't a person they perceived me to be, not based on anything I did, but just who they decided I was by looking at me. I guess I kind of have to put in a bit more work for people to really, really see how I feel.
That makes sense. I mean, it's also a TV show, so you see like a really small percentage of what that whole experience was.
Yeah.
But obviously, how you perceive someone is always going to be different from what they're actually like and who they are as a person.
I realized that people like to look at me and decide the kind of person I am,
Kind of assume
rather
things.
than wait to find out the kind of person I am. Which, like, fine, whatever. I guess we all kind of do that. But I guess that's kind of difficult in a dating context when you're trying to get to know people.
Also, you're a slow burner.
Yeah.
Like, it does take you a while to actually really open up as well.
That is tea. That is tea.
What was the best part of going on I Kissed a Boy?
Finding my man, finding Lars, meeting amazing friends.
Okay, the real question is, what was the hardest part of going on I Kissed a Boy?
I think the hardest moment was the final kiss-off. Really, really painful, but I think that was a moment that I thought it was like happy ever after, sailing into the sunset.
Tea.
Things are going to be great now. Did not at all expect what happened there. I just didn't have the capacity to process it in that moment.
Yeah.
I think I became so detached from everything that was happening and I was so in shock. Obviously in the long term, it's weird to say, but I'm kind of grateful that it happened because it's made me and Lars much stronger. And I wouldn't want to change anything because I like where I am now.
Yeah.
I have an amazing boyfriend, I have amazing friends, and we're in a good place. And also it made great telly. So it's like, I can't complain that much.
Yeah. You guys have had to work hard to get to know each other outside of the context of essentially gorgeous holiday romance, and then actually being in real life, for like you have your jobs, your different friends, live in different cities. Like how does that actually work? And I feel like that has made you guys really strong because of that.
The show is such a small part of our whole relationship journey.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of ways, like, we really started after the show.
Yeah.
But it's cute to have the show as kind of like the early version of Ruben and Lars.
Yeah.
You know, I guess another part that's hard about the show is that you're putting yourself up for so much judgment. Like, when you're there, it's from the other boys. When you're out, it's from the world. And I went into the show so focused on me, but not in a selfish way. I was just like, the way that I'm gonna act is not gonna be based on what other people want me to do.
Well, you want to do it for you.
I want to do it for me, but obviously that opens you up to more criticism. I guess that's also the thing, is that I've learned that there's no way that you're ever going to be perceived or presented by everyone in a way that is actually accurate to yourself or that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And it's quite freeing. Live your fucking life, and if people get it, they get it, and if they don't, they don't.
Very that.
Oh, and we weren't allowed to wear brands. I'm not a brand whore diva. However, I couldn't wear any of my Super Mario crop tops. So annoying. That's literally like, that's like my favorite thing to wear.
No, but that's like literally 80% of Ruben's wardrobe.
That's like the only thing I wear that isn't made by me. Is like Mario themed stuff.
But also, I mean, you cropped them, baby. They didn't come cropped.
My favorite one did
baby
because
tee.
it's the one that I wore when I was 9 years old.
Right there. That's the original baby tee. If you could change one thing about your experience when I Kissed a Boy, what would it be?
I wouldn't have worn the outfit that I wore in the second kiss off. I didn't need to wear the corset. It looked like a cool outfit, but it just didn't look like me. The pieces just didn't go together. I looked hot though, like my face card was eaten.
Yeah, you did eat, to be fair. You eat. And you also ate Lars's face too.
Yeah, right in front of Danny Minogue.
Very that, and also then right in front of your family. So we had to watch it, Diva. Very that.
Don't remind me.
How did you prepare for going on I Kissed a Boy?
As soon as I found out that the show might be a possibility, I pretty much convinced myself that I was going on the show. I actually looked at all the past seasons, party categories, and I started designing my looks based off of them. So I designed...
Oh, so you didn't actually get a list?
No, so we got a list once I was confirmed being on the show, but I was designing my looks for like a month and a half before I was confirmed on the show. So the looks that I originally planned were Pride Party, Queer Icon, and then I did Club Masseria, which was the theme in I Kissed a Girl instead of Cowboy Party, and I did Final Kiss Off. All of them ended up looking quite different because 2 of the themes didn't even end up being in there. However, Club Masseria, I made into my cowboy outfit. We're basically adding a cowboy hat because it was already like chaps. It was basically like Berghain meets Barn Dance meets Brokeback Mountain kind of vibe.
With that, love.
Slay. Then obviously didn't do the Pride Party, but
Yeah.
it was hard doing Pride Party because often rainbow themed things look quite ugly. So I made it kind of like a bit of like a torn up raggedy vibe. It was going to be a very cool look. I'll do it at some point.
Torn up raggedy vibe.
Then Final Kiss Off, ended up wearing a shirt that was my granddad's that I got after he died, and I'd cropped it, and I was wearing it with a waistcoat of yours.
Tea.
It was kind of my opportunity of like showing myself as a normal human person. Each of the looks that I wanted to do, I wanted to show off different sides of myself. So my entrance look, I wanted very quintessential Ruben, like the green, the cargo trousers, the crop top, the alien vibes. Then for Met Gala, I wanted the kind of robotic, cyborg, high fashion moment. With the armor, which I'd made for a fashion show a few months before that. It's like robotic, but it's also like glam and camp because it has the nails.
Very that.
For Queer Icon, I knew I wanted this to be my moment of arty expression. I first wanted to do some kind of like alien-y character, but they were all copyrighted. Then I was gonna do Grace Jones and Keith Haring. So Keith Haring used to do these amazing body paint drawings onto Grace Jones. However the tea was, I thought this was like a moment to really, really give insight into me. I then wanted to do the devil. I love doing devil looks. I do them every Halloween, but it was a little bit sacrilegious. And I didn't really want my brand to be anything to do with religion.
Tea.
Then I decided on Frankenstein's monster. Mary Shelley was queer, and I also wanted to do a more monstrous thing. Kind of an homage to like Club Kids of the 80s, Blitz Kids, all of that kind of stuff, and like the modern day monster artists. And I also, as I said on the show, just really wanted to paint myself green.
And that actually leads me on to what's the fucking deal with green?
So green is a happy place for me. I think what's fab about it, it's the most multifaceted color. So
Interesting.
every different shade of green you have wildly different associations with. Snot green, natural green, alien green, toxic green, digital green, army green, olive green, emerald green. I find it really, really fun how multifaceted it is. All these have wildly different associations, but it's all the same color. I also think on a personal level, it's a place of safety for me. My safe space growing up was like playing video games underneath the cover, and the color of digital stuff is black and green. That's why the digital cybernetic alien thing, I love the concept of aliens because it's these beings that come from another world just like doing them. There's this mystery surrounding them, and they can kind of look however way, but like green is the color of them, and I think that's quite exciting.
It's kind of like your origin story, your interpretation of aliens, because that's also very queer. Queer people are viewed as unnatural, unhuman, but also it sounds like there's some freedom in that because it's claiming
for sure.
the different.
People will make fun of me by calling me alien boy, like green boy, and this is like the biggest compliment. Some of my favorite things and characters and stuff from when I was a kid. Green lightsabers from Star Wars. I wanted a green lightsaber so badly. Yoshi and Luigi were like my favorite characters in Mario growing up, because Luigi was like the old one. And of course I wanted the old one. And also Yoshi.
You've always been old.
Yoshi.
Yeah.
Yoshi.
So a lot of people that have probably just got to know you through the show have seen that you're very creative. When you were little, you made your own worlds, created characters, dressed up a lot. Drag was definitely also an origin story. Like, why do you do what you do?
Well, it's funny with you mentioning that, because what I do now is kind of just what I've always done since I was a kid at just like a more elevated level. I love thinking of something and then using the skills and resources that I have to physicalize it. And like, it's not going to look exactly like what it was in my mind, but that's also the joy of it. It's like using myself as a vessel to get what's in here out there. The process of making the outer world more like my inner world and inviting people into that. And I've found that looks and fashion are the best medium to do that. I've used loads of different mediums, doing installations, light installations, doing stuff digitally. I used to DJ a lot, and that was a way of inviting people into a space and thinking and feeling in the way that I like to do. I feel a lot of comfort in my own personal existed world, and creating as a way of making the outside world more like that.
Yeah.
I've come to realize as I'm older, this kind of stuff is really important. My biggest inspirations have always been monster artists, creature artists, drag artists, people who turn themselves into things from their imagination. And I think there's something really, really, really powerful in taking complete agency over how you exist in the world. That is a ethos of living. But so many people, because of the society we live in, spend so much time conforming and existing in a way that they're told to exist, not in the way that feels right to them. Someone can look at me and be like, he's being really weird and really, really out there. Like, wear the t-shirt you want to wear, talk in the way you want to talk, exist in the spaces that you want to exist within. You know, you don't have to paint yourself green.
You're creating your own rules. From when you were younger, maybe feeling isolated, feeling lonely, or feeling misunderstood, creating the worlds that were for you. Like, this world isn't built for us, for queer people, for people that are different.
Exactly, yeah.
So to create your own world, then also to share it is really powerful.
I think it's exactly
and empowering.
I want to show that it's possible. Almost the most exciting part about me doing a look is the journey to the club. I love going to the club. I take public transport. I can be getting Ubers. A lot of people find it really, really insane that I dress up the way that I do and get the tube by myself at night. But like, the walk from my house to Brixton Station is kind of like hate crime central. But there's also something amazing about walking around really confidently, painted purple, wearing a crop top, people just looking at me like, what is going on?
Like, you even got TikToks that are like you anyway out, and like, and people are like, what
the fuck is that? I have a privilege as a cis, tall, conventionally attractive gay guy. I am able to exist more palatably. Therefore, if I'm able to do the crazy thing and normalize queerness to some people, that can make it easier for other people who don't have an as easy time just existing as their queer selves. It can normalize that to other people who might give them a hard time.
You fucking ate with that.
Also, I have a really strong vision of what I think is really beautiful and pretty, and that process of like sculpting that, never gets old. Never gets old.
Okay, so you obviously recently styled Laquan Lewis from What It Feels Like for a Girl on the red carpet. Honestly, they looked incredible.
That was really fun actually, because obviously I'd made that look for myself, but seeing it on someone else, it looked glamorous in quite a different way. They styled it really well. They had great hair for it, great shoes for it. They did the thing.
I feel like they have more of a feminine side than you do as well. So I feel like it was also really cool to see your look presented by someone who has a different queerness to you.
For sure.
And like, honestly, they ate.
I love designing for the queer body.
So where do you want to take all of this? What is the future for what you create, your creations, characters, worlds, etc.?
I think I have created a process that I really enjoy, and I kind of want to keep on bringing my ideas to life and for them to have an impact challenging people's views. And creating a space for people to exist more authentically. In 5 years' time, I would love to be doing what I'm doing on a higher level with a bigger platform. I would love to be featured in Vogue. I would love to have collections in London Fashion Week. I'd love to walk in London Fashion Week, and I would love to work with some of my favourite performance and creature and drag artists.
So speaking of your favourite creatures, drag artists, etc., let's do some quickfire questions.
Let's go.
Category is top threes.
Category is
Very late. Top three musicians.
DJ Heartstring,
Work.
Charlie XCX, and Jack Maniac.
Yeah, yes, diva. Top three musicians to listen to when you're sad.
Arlo Parks,
Work.
Caroline Polachek. I'm gonna say Charlie XCX again. I think about it all the time. Last time when it came out, I cried to it so many times. Sunny outside, bawling my eyes out listening to. There's something about her thinking about whether she wants to have a kid or not.
Top three TV shows or films.
Dragula, Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and Border Control at the Australian border.
Crazy show to be
Crazy
fair.
show,
Did you
crazy
see that
show.
When this guy had a belt that had like
The grenade!
the belt buckle looked like a grenade, evacuated the whole
Airport. And it was a belt buckle that looked like a grenade.
Top three video games.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Shout out to Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, the first game I ever played. I've been playing a lot of Cooking Mama recently on my DS.
Honestly, work. Which is gayest?
Cooking Mama. I feel like anyone who played Cooking Mama as a kid is 100% a fag now. That's the gayest, queerest Super Smash Bros. It hits everything on the spectrum. Like, any different characters is so fab.
You can be anyone.
You can be anyone. Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap is actually quite straight.
Link is giving me lesbian.
True.
The outfit.
For like MBTs.
Work. Top three drag artists.
Hungry, Charity Case, and Gottmik.
Work. Top three artists and designers.
Empty Pools / Austin James Smith, Nia Hulu X, who has the Noir brand, and Charity Case again. Charity Case just makes amazing
Big up
looks.
Charity.
Yeah.
What are your top three references?
Darth Maul. The way that Fortnite characters dress, this camp characterized costume that has really strong silhouette and it's always like combat ready. I find that really fun.
Cunty.
And cunty and really like hench and hot. Finally, binary code, like black and green against like a digital background.
Love. Your top three favourite looks from I Kissed a Boy.
Frankenstein's monster, cowboy, and robotic Met Gala look.
3 words to summarise your brand.
Alien, queer, and geometric.
If you could style anyone, top 3 people to make looks for.
I would love to make a look for Lil Nas X. Would love to make a look for Gottmik. And then I would love to style a Labubu. Actually, I wouldn't. Fuck Labubus.
Name all the boys of the show and give them all a character. Jack S.
Princess Peach in Mario Kart wearing the really skinny suit when she's on the bikes.
Camp. Diva. Jordan B.
Wario.
Work. Jordan R.
Princess Daisy, because him and
Very that. And
Jack
you know what
is
she was
such
my
a duo.
favourite. So Lars.
Lars is Stitches from Animal Crossing.
That's really cute.
Hey.
Hey. Where are you going? Rory.
Birdo.
Work. Justin.
Justin is Donkey Kong.
So accurate. Alex.
Bowser.
Work.
But like in the crying scenes in the Mario and Luigi franchise.
Baraka.
Baraka is Forful from the Mario and Luigi series.
Who's that?
This little like villain cackly character who's like sweet and cute and a little bit messy.
Work. Adam.
You know what? Adam is like Super Mario.
You know what? So real.
Don't you get me? Like so like well-rounded.
Jas.
Jas is Rosalina.
Work.
Princess Rosalina.
Jack D.
Diddy Kong. Fun, very sweet, like full of energy, just like living his life.
So real. Aaron.
Jimmy T from WarioWare.
Work. Hugh.
The big tree in The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
So accurate.
Big grand tree looking after the village. Huru the Guru.
Huru, the motherfucking guru.
God.
Very there. Callum.
Honestly, Captain Falcon. And that is such a high compliment. You're
That's
so
high
welcome.
praise. Very that. Okay, now finally, you.
Honestly, Mesmer from Fortnite, T. Though, somebody described me as Lucario from Pokemon on TikTok, and I really, really like that.
Say no more.
Fresh and white eggs are here. Wiggle jiggle, yellow middle. That's the best of what you are. I love you, egg. White and tender, surround the center. Cozy sitting in a crackling shell.
Diva! We ate that. I don't think we ever ate that hard.
No, that was really good. Thank you for joining us today.
It's been cute.
Yeah, Eden, as I've said, is like my family and my chosen family. Eden knows me like literally no one else. You think I was hot and mysterious when I kissed a boy? She gets me multiple times a week having breakdowns on the phone to her.
I have seen
She has the privilege of that.
Very that.
Check her out at Eden Vision on Instagram, on TikTok, and find me at Ruben Bø Dower on every single social media platform. I'll be posting more YouTube videos here. Got lots of fun, exciting fashion projects to come, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I post every day on TikTok and Instagram. Thank you very much.
Slay.
In a bit, babes.